Marcelo Tomoyose is joining us, and he's going to be talking about software for industrial inkjet. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Let's get, oops, okay. Hello, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here. Well, I take some time to understand which topic we will discuss here. And we decided to talk about the hidden power of digital front end. The main reason is software, I think, for industrial print is still a very unknown situation. When you talk about digital front end, we hear a lot of different stories. People think about different about digital front end. And my goal here in this presentation is just clarify a little bit about what's a digital front end, what's the power, and when we think about software, even on digital, if you think about our mobile phone, for example, there's a hardware, but one of the most important part of a mobile phone is the software. The computer is the same, yeah? And for presses, it's not different, yeah? But when you talk about challenge, I made this presentation a few days ago. But if you've seen the market challenge, yeah, and how the things are changing, I think it's pretty similar from the other presentations. Time to market pressure, short runs. I don't like the name short and long runs. I think Kento make a very good explanation. I can say that smart runs, okay? We do the runs based on what's the best for the customer business, yeah? Demands for automation, flexibility, we are talking about labor, integration, pressure for reduce waste and carbon. Yeah, I think that's the most of the challenges that we've seen during these past presentations. But basically, what's the DFE, a digital front end? Digital front end basically is the brain of the press. Digital front end is the piece of software that connects the hardware engine and the business of the customer, okay? Digital front end, it's all responsible for imaging quality, automation, user interface, data analytics. All this kind of information came from the DFE. And we say that basically the DFE is the brain and the soul of the press, because it's the part that connects the press to the rest of the world. Yeah? When you think about the DFE, most of the people think about digital front end, the DFE, as just the RIP, the part that created the screen and output. It's much more than this. DFE is basically the piece that improves and delivers the quality needed for our end user customer. I can give an example. For the packaging market. Packaging market has a very critical element, is the barcode. If you make in a packaging, you print a pack where the barcode is not readable, it will be useless on the retail stores. Supermarket probably will not accept, but we needed to treat it different from the rest of the elements. All these kind of little details, if we don't deliver the color, the brand color, as the brand the owner needs, will be useless, yeah? And for example, one of the challenges that we across during these years, working with industrial, especially when you make the transition from analog to digital, is when you have in the same area materials printed with different technologies, we have an effect called metamerism, the effect of the light, when you print especially on different technologies, and how we match the colors when we are using different printing technologies using like a not perfect light condition. That's one of the challenges that usually a DFE can solve to you, yeah? Another part, thinking about the manufacturers of the presses, how we can help them to make their process to develop a new press faster, easier, and powerful. yeah? How we can connect their press with the entire environment of the printing production. We don't want to have a press as island in the middle of the customer production, yeah? And basically, the DFE, it's a pretty important asset when you have a digital press in a business environment. Okay. First thing, when a press manufacturer thinks to how to decide which press, okay, I usually always say we need to follow these steps. The first, what the feature, what the technology requirement and the advancement, yeah? And we cannot just think for the today because this market is changing, and how we can keep improving the technology of our press over the time. Second one, cost. Cost is always important. How we can improve this cost optimization. Yeah, how we can make, when you talk about, one of the big challenges when you develop a press is not only develop the press, but develop a press in certain time with certain cost. Yeah, that's another. And how we integrated this press to the rest of the world. We develop something that we don't know where it's go. It's go for a customer that has one environment that has, for example, an AGFA workflow. But I have another customer that has an ESCO workflow, or other customers, it's inline manufacturing. How we can work with this kind of integration? And how we think not only for the today, how we think in our solution for the future, how we go to adapt that for the future needs. Oops, okay. And basically, we have one of the big challenges is the resource. By the way, I think everybody has the same challenge. Yeah? We need to develop the best thing, quick as possible, cheaper as possible, and with very limited resources. How we can make that, yeah? I hear a lot here about partnerships, yeah? And that's one of the big challenges, how we can partner to deliver that, yeah? And I think one of the most important thing, there are companies specialized in technologies. For example, FireSim specialized on DFE technologies. I think the companies, to be successful, need to be concentrated on their core business, yeah, and find partners that can help them. And when you think about the minimum, I consider the minimum requirements that a partner needed to see when they are looking for a new DFE. The first is speed. Speed is something is basically. The solution should deliver the speed required to, only 5. Oh, okay. How we can deliver the speed, yeah, required. Yeah, there's a lot of different requirements, yeah. It's not sometimes rendering how much we deliver the data to the electronics and so on, yeah. We have situations where we need to deliver 100 gig per second, yeah. That's a lot of data, yeah. We need to have a full color, especially, for example, for packaging market. Colors is a critical element. How we deliver an advanced color workflow where we can make the color stable, accurate, precise. We can deliver special advancement or special features, yeah, like varnish or metallic, whatever. And how we integrate the solutions with the designer. It's a great part. Designer is part of this color workflow. We need to integrate with them, yeah? We need to find a solution that should be scalable, okay? One of the, usually press manufacturers don't do only one press. They do one press, and tomorrow they do another press. After they develop another press. And how we can create an ecosystem where I can recycle all the work that we made in the past. And we need to have a scalability architecture where we can start with one solution. If I have a much more powerful press, we can basically adjust that as we need, yeah? And of course, we need to have advanced job management, okay? During the day-by-day of use of the press, the operator needed to stop, enter a urgent press, or need to make proofing, or sometimes the customer has 3 or 4 presses, one broke, I need to transfer the job from one to another, I needed to back up jobs that I print frequently. Yeah, advanced job management, it's one of the most important parts. Yeah, and integration, okay? Digital presses don't live alone. Yeah, it's part of an ecosystem of the business environment. We needed to be able to integrate. Doesn't matter which environment the customer has, we need to be able to adjust. In some situations, we are able to deliver ready to use. Some situations, we needed to develop some custom application, but in a very simple way. Okay. This is basically the value proposition that we understand that's the most important for the DFE. The first one, it's the product needs. Everything technically required to make the press work under the year specification easy as they can. And we called another one that we call the preserved needs. How we can add value with the software for my press on the market. Yeah? That's the 2 areas that we always is looking for. The technical area, the engineering area, and the marketing area, okay? And when you think about data, about DFE, we are not just talking about printing, but we have something beyond printing. DFE is the part that collects the data. When we are talking about, we discuss a lot of AI here, yeah? But AI needs to get 2 things. Data to learn, and we needed to teach, yeah? And how we teach our AI for they deliver the information that we need? Capturing the data. Data is one of the critical part of any DFE solution, yeah? How we can capture, how our customer can measure their production, how they take the data-driven decision. And one of, I think, the most important part, how we can predict the things, yeah? That's based on the data information, yeah? Another one, it's a great information, how we treat that data. Talking about inks, I think we have different suppliers here. We have the guys from ink, we have printers, we have the print shop guys, okay? We have the ability, the DFE should have the ability to help them to manage inventory. For example, the press manufacturer buy inks from other ones, and so on. And how I know the inventory that you have. As you know, ink sometimes has shorter lives, and there's a big cascade of warehouses. We needed to be smarter how we manage, how we make sure that the customer is putting on their press the bottle that's closer to the expiration date. How we can know, how we can predict how much ink my customer will use for I have enough ink on my inventory. Yeah? It's all data and information that we can have through the AI. In our situation, we have an AI that does this based on the data captured from the press and the production. Yeah? And I bring you another example. Yeah? It's where the software makes the change in a customer. Yeah? We have basically 2 partners. One called PackSize. I'm not sure if you heard about PackSize. PackSize is a company that makes box on the fly. Depends with different sizes. Yeah, basically in Drupal they are showing that you just enter the information and PackSize makes the box based on the information. And they have a challenge. And we have another partner, EFI. Yeah, our ex-mother company. We are different companies right now, but EFI has the print engine. And what is the challenge? How we make a DFE, yeah, that is able to connect to the logistics system, and also how we can resize the artwork of the box on the fly, because we don't know what's the size of the box until the order arrives. And there's a lot of funny situations because we can resize the artwork, but some kind of elements cannot be resized, like barcodes. But we should have to add labels. We have situations where we have hazard information like batteries, and we need to print the battery information on the box to follow some requirements. And this is a great example how a DFE changed an opportunity in the market. Yeah, just for you know, we cannot say the name of the customer. It's one of the biggest e-commerce in the world. They acquired 100 of these engines. Yeah, it's a great example. Yeah, how we can use DFE to change the business. Yeah. Basically, talking about DFE. Yeah. Basically, what's the DFE? The press, it's basically puts the inks on the substrate. The DFE basically is the part that decide where the ink will be placed, how the ink will be placed, and how it will be integrated to the customer business. Little bit just for you know about Fiery. Fiery is more than 30 years in the DFE business. Yeah, we started with the first product in '91. We have a global presence worldwide in all the continents. We sold more than 2 million DFE worldwide. Yeah. And basically, what's our goal here? It's to be supporting our partners, our customers in their transformation from analog to digital. Yeah. Thank you very much. And if you need some information, you can get in touch.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Fiery.